Good evening, folks. I'm still here in Kelso, Tennessee, on our little road trip. Today, we went to a couple more distilleries. Yesterday, we hit Jack Daniel's and Lynchburg. Today, we went to, they're pretty close to where we're staying, Pritchard's Distillery and Southern Pride. Both are pretty good. Pritchard give us a tour, real nice tour guide, both craft distilleries, small operations, but good people. If you're in the area, I highly recommend both of those. The Pritchard's was free. Did a tasting there, tried a lot of their products. They have a lot of good stuff. And Southern Pride, I think they charge $5, but in the end, they didn't end up charging me. So I bought a bottle and a t-shirt, but real nice gallon there. Highly recommend it. Tomorrow, I think we're going to go to George Dickel. It's about an hour from here, but we're going to go ahead since we're here, and we'll probably never, I don't know if we'll ever come back over here, but not because we don't like it, but if you're not into distilleries, there ain't a whole lot to do over here. But it's a beautiful area. It's quiet if you want to get away. Anyway, we're probably going to go over there tomorrow, and I'll let y'all know how that one is. The Jack Daniel's tour was pretty good, as you can imagine. Great tour guide there too. They talked a lot about the history and, of course, how Jack Daniel stubbed his toe, got an infection and ended up killing him, and all the little stories, how he got started, and pretty good tour. Anyway, so tonight I'm smoking this My Father. I don't have my glasses out here. I always say that, but I just need them for reading. I don't need them for distance, so I don't wear them all the time, and I never could find them. But I think this is a Garcia and Garcia or something like that, it said. But it's pretty good. It's a lighter wrapper. Usually, I tried My Father when I first started smoking cigars a long time ago, and wasn't really a fan, so I kind of had not picked them up, and guy I work with likes them, so I went ahead and I said, well, let me give it a try again, and he's right, they're pretty good. So recently been picking up some of them and trying different ones. Your taste change and over time, and I've got a lot of bourbon, a lot, and in fact I'm trying to thin it out some, but there's been some that I remember trying and wasn't crazy about it, didn't drink much out of it, and as I'm trying to drink some of it down now, I go to try it again, and I'm like, well, that's pretty good, and it's kind of weird, and I'm convinced that a lot of times it's sometimes with cigars, if they sit in the humidor, they'll age a little bit, but with the bourbon, I think a lot of it is sometimes it opens up. They say it opens up, after you open the bottle. I don't know if I believe that, but they say. But I think a lot of that has to do with what you ate during the day or something that affects your palate when you're drinking it. Because sometimes you drink it, it's really good, and other times you're like, this tastes like straight alcohol. It's weird. But tonight, drinking Old Forester 1910. It's weird because I don't drink. I like Old Forester 1910. I like it better than the 1920. I used to like the 1920, but it seems like they did something different to it. I doubt they actually did, but something about it doesn't taste the same. And I actually saw, if you watch a lot of bourbon YouTube, SLB Drinks talks about it, how it's kind of changed. And so it's not just me, but I do like the 1910. It's funny because I guess I got so much bourbon at home that I don't drink it a lot, and but it seems like every time we go on vacation, that's what gets thrown in the bag. So usually I bring one bottle, and I'll try to pick up some other ones on the trip, but I always bring one just in case. And it seems like it's always that one, so that tells you it must be something I enjoy. I just have so much at home that I think sometimes you get distracted, end up drinking other stuff. But um, yeah, so I'm thinking about this trip today, and it's funny because my whole career, I've never really had a problem taking off. I mean, I always carried my phone and all that, but you know, I never had people working for me like I do now. So if somebody called, it was about one of my cases, and generally I could call my partner and I get him to take care of it for me, or they would just call him, vice, one or the other. But didn't really have to worry about it too. I could relax on vacation. And when I got this job here, um, I've got a lot of people working for me, and I've taken some vacations, and I haven't been able to relax because you always feel like I need to be available, and you do, and I am, but I left my work phone, I got the email makes a noise and the text makes a noise, and they usually don't text me, but you get emails, especially, as a middle manager, you get emails all day long from the top, from below. I mean, it's just crazy. Half the shit doesn't really pertain to you, but it's nice to know what's happening. If you've ever been a manager somewhere or a supervisor, you always kind of want to know what's going on, even if you don't know all the ins and outs of every little thing. In case you get asked about it, you want to have some idea and know where to go to get the answers. But since I've had this job, every vacation has not been very relaxing. I carry that phone. Every time it dings, I'm looking at it. I check it. If it doesn't ding, I look at it because I thought I missed something. You hit the button and open it up, make sure there's no, messages on there, missed calls. If you go do something where you're at the beach and you go in the water, you're sitting there. At least for me, I'm sitting in the, man, I need to go up and check my phone, make sure nobody called. And you got people that work for you that are competent. You got a supervisor who knows you're out of town, and it's pretty cool. It's just me. I just felt like I needed to do everything. I got to have my hand in I think this time I made a conscious effort to. I turned off the sound on my phone, my personal phone. The sound's on. The people who need it, if they need me, they can call me on my personal phone. But I don't check. I don't check those messages all day long. I don't check those emails. I figured if it's important, they'll call me. I don't need to check the email. And if it's something, even if you get an email that's kind of aggravating to you, or you can't do nothing about it because you're, 600 miles away, whatever, it's nothing you can do. So you just deal with it when you get back. So I've kind of checked them at the end of each day. I kind of scrolled through them. I didn't even really read them all. I just scanned for anything, big, anything from the boss or anything that might be concerning. And I can't be the only one who does that. And it's really been, it's been stressful this whole time. It's not been fun this past couple of years, that part of it. Not being able to relax, and I think that this time I learned on this trip that you can relax, and ultimately it's out of your hands once you leave, and you leave competent people filling in for you. It's on them at that point, as long as you left good instructions and they know what to do. And the people that work for me have been in them positions for a long time, so I have no reason not to let them do their thing. You know, they don't need me. They function just fine without me. But it's hard to. I take so much ownership in every job I've had, and pride in what I do, and you know, I'm one of those people. If you're gonna do something, and you know, anything, you need to do it the best that you can. If I'm gonna put my name on something, I want it to be the best it can be. If I'm signing off on reports, I like them to look professional. I make sure I read them, every word, and I do my best to correct them or fix them, or you know, if they need to. I just think it's important, if somebody's paying you to do the job, to do the best you can. And this trip I've enjoyed. I've really let go, and I guess my point to this video is encourage you that if you're like me and you can't let things go, learn to do that, because I think I talked about in the last one, your job is not who you are, it is what you do for a living. I talked about in there that places that we work, every place, I mean, if you own the business maybe, but most of us work somewhere. And honestly, I think we all know, if you if you think about it, these places will operate just fine without us. If something happens, they'll keep on rocking. If I drop dead on this trip and never come back, they'll go, damn, poor old Mike. Or they might say, thank God, who knows. But they might, oh man, that's a shame. Who's going to replace him? And they'll keep going. They won't miss a beat. No organization will. They'll figure it out. So that doesn't mean you got to do a half-ass job and act like you don't care, because I believe that if somebody's paying you to do a job, you do it to the best of your ability. If you don't want to do that, you probably need to move on. Find something else to do. If you don't feel like you're being compensated enough or treated right, easier said than done sometimes, but you need to move on. But as long as they're paying you, you need to show up and do the best job you can. That's just me. Everybody thinks different, but when you do think like that, and if you do, you can probably relate it. It's hard to let go sometimes when you're off. Even during my regular work time, I go home, and sometimes I can't. I'm sitting there laying in bed thinking about stuff I got to do tomorrow, and things I remember, man, I got to address this, I got to do that, I got to remember to send these reports and these statistics or whatever the thing is for that week. And makes it hard to shut your brain off sometimes, but I just need to learn to let it go, because I think I'm no sports model, but I've always worked out since I was a teenager, lifted weights, and pretty decent shape. And it seems like I don't make time for that as much as I used to. And part of it is I'm getting older, but a lot of it is not making time because I'm too worried about work, and I work in more hours. And the thing is, and I'll make a video about this, you're going to make time for what's important to you, whether it's, exercising or your family or whatever it is. That you can make excuses for why you're not doing things, like I'm not exercising because of work, but ultimately I need to make the time to do it. And part of that freeing up some time is letting some things go. But that's all I got for tonight. It's pretty late. Just sitting out here, you probably heard the geese on the lake in the background. I forgot to get my mic, so hopefully the sound comes out all right on this. But anyway, y'all have a good evening, and I'll let you know how the George Dickel tour goes, distillery tour, and y'all have a good evening. Bye.